Hello, everyone. So I just watched a video of Doyin Okupe, quite a lengthy video, almost 10 minutes, explaining his journey with Mr. Peter Obi and how for him the 2023 election was about ensuring that there's no northern candidate and that PDP was going to bring a northern candidate was the reason why for him, he felt no, there was a need for a southern candidate. And now that Tinubu has won, according to him, Tinubu won the election. And of course, everything, everything is it's okay for him. For him, all he wanted, it's not about good governance, it's not about accountability, it's not about transparency, it's not about better life for people, but just that a southerner becomes president, and then he goes on to explain his journey. I'm going to allow you watch the video for you to see for yourself, but just few things that he said here and there, where he talked about the fact that one, people that the people are saying that the election was rigged. Is there no election that was rigged? Is there no party that didn't rig election? Well, for me, the party that the campaign that I was part of, that was Peter Obi's campaign, there was no rigging of election. We went to meet the people. We told the people what we wanted, and we tried to, persuade them to vote for us, and that was what they did in voting for Mr. Peter Obi. And then also in reference, he kept talking about the fact that he was the Director General of you were the Director General of the presidential campaign, but at a certain time he had to resign because he was convicted of corruption case, and that led to the resignation. But before that, there are a lot of things anyway that had gone on and gone up. Sometimes when you see people talk, you just shake your head. That's why for a lot of people, you understand, there's so much in cupboards that when people that are in offices, people that are in government are able to use on them. And if there's one advice, I keep telling young people or people who talk to me and they want to do something, I always say to them, make sure that you have everything clean. Make sure that you don't, no matter how little it is, no matter, everybody is doing it, or, one small thing, make sure you don't dabble your hand. You can look stupid sometimes, you can look foolish, you can look as if you're not smart, but it's better that way. That way, they don't have anything to hold over you. There's nothing. You can be your free self. You can be you. You can do you. You can say what you want to say. And it's just there. And every time you have to keep watching out. There are little things that people are coming through one way or the other, trying to get you compromised, or you have to be on the watch. I bet it's good to have a clean cupboard. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, just watch this particular interview that Mr. Doyin Okupe did.
I joined politics in 1978 as a vice chairman of a ward in Ekwetedo, Lagos, MPN. That's the truth. And I'm still, by the grace of God, I'm still active. I'm not saying I'm the oldest politician alive. No. I'm saying oldest politician still in practice, still in the art of practice of politics in Nigeria. I may have contemporaries. I don't have senior. So, when Baba Adebanjo called me, he said, I've read that you want to be president. I said, yes. He said, Onijobo, you're a troublemaker. I said, no, I'm not making trouble. I said, Baba, you don't know what's going on in our own party. You're not a member of PDP. I'm a PDP person. PDP want to pick Hausa person to come into power, after Buhari. I said, that doesn't make sense to me. It makes a mockery of our federalism. It makes a mockery of our unity as a nation. For me, it directly hits and undermines, my essence as a human being. I am not inferior to any Nigerian, either by birth, education. If it is by birth, I'm a prince. If it is by education, I was educated in the best school in Nigeria. I belong to one of the best professions. I qualify as a medical practitioner. I've always lived well. So I have more than an average intellect. So I don't see myself lower than any Nigerian. So why should I now become a second-class citizen that is not worthy of any consideration in the same country in which I am in? It's not possible. So I revolted very strongly against that. It's personal. So Baba then said, look, let's face it. If this power were to rotate to the south, which section of the south should it go? So I said, Baba, let us be factual. Southwest has been President Obasanjo. South has been President Jonathan in recent times. Only Southeast has not had a shot at it. And I find it to be an injustice. But there's nothing a single person can do. So if they can fight for themselves and you can support them, so be it. So Baba said, why don't we just support them? So I said, I agree. That's what happened. Baba Adebanjo, thank God, is still alive. He called me to his bedroom. We had a discussion. So I agreed. And I left him. Well, I went back, at that time I was staying in Ikweru. I went back to Ikweru and I called my political associates and I told them of the encounter and what I decided and that I was going to drop out of the race. So they said, who are we going to support? I said, well, if you're going to support the East, there's Pius Hayim, there's Peter Obi, there's one or two other persons. I said, for me, I think Peter Obi is the one that has the greatest appeal. So we agreed. And the next day, I went to that press center in Abeokuta. It's on record. And I declared that I was dropping from the race and that I was going to support Peter Obi. As of that time, Sheye, I have never met Obi. I have never discussed with him. I have not seen him. I don't know anything. I only knew that he wanted to be president. It was 5 days later that Obi called me on phone and said, Egbon, I heard everything you said. I was in Morocco or something. I think it was in Morocco. He said I was in Morocco or Egypt. I don't know. He said, when can we see? I said, I said, I've declared support for you. Are you in Lagos? He said, yes. So I said, let's meet at Southern Sun for lunch. So we went to Southern Sun for lunch. We had lunch for about 2 hours. We discussed. I said, look, please join me. Come and be my director general of my campaign. I said, gladly I will do it. That's how the journey with Obi started. And when it was crystal clear to us, all right, that we cannot get the ticket under APC, the gladiators were too many, the odds that were against us were unsurmountable, clearly. So Obi and I sat down in the hotel room in Abuja and we said, look, let's face it, this, if we stayed here and take part in the primaries, and after that, then go and say they want to contest under another party, it will not look good to the public. So let us leave before they do their primaries. So we left.
PDP.
We left PDP.
Okay.
The letter was written. Obi's letter of resignation was written. And for 3 days, it was unstable in the hotel room. So I woke up one morning and I said, Peter, this letter is still here. I said, I'm going to go and deliver it today. I took the letter without his express permission, but it was there. I took the letter and I went to the National Secretariat of PDP. The national chairman was not there, but I dropped it and I signed, and they signed the acceptance copy for me. That was how we left. So we started to look for which party will accommodate us. Most of the other parties, I don't want to castigate anybody. The parties that they are on. The conditions they gave were not too favorable, and many were not, directly very forthcoming. In all honesty, the party that gave us the most favorable conditionality and support, and were not, really looking for anything, was the Labour Party. Abure and his gang. I will commend, when people do things that are good, we should commend them. Abure and one Ojukwu, who was the national organizing secretary, they, for whatever reason, they did not demand money from us. They gave us accommodation. They even said, if we wanted anything or changes in the ESCO and all that, we should discuss with them. We told them, just hold on to your ESCO, no problem. Let us work together. So we went to Asaba and had the convention, and Obi was nominated. So that was how we started the journey. The journey between Peter Obi and I was based on our repulsion for a northern candidate to succeed Buhari. We wanted a southern candidate in our party. And our party was not going to pick a southern candidate, so we left it. But our union, our cooperation, the basis of our political association between Obi and I was that we will fight for a southern candidate, which in this case was him. So we went for the election and we lost the election. People say I should not say we lost. We lost. They said APC rigged. Look, if you say APC rigged, which party did not rig? Which election had not been rigged since 1999? I'm a practitioner. I took part in all elections in 1998. In Nigeria, from 1998 to date, were rigged. Was Tinubu the one conducting them, or was Tinubu the one contesting at that time? It's not true. So we have a bad system. Let us agree, and we must look at it properly and reform it for our own good. So that it's not judges that will be determining who the governor of the state will be, who the president of the country will be. Look at the election that we held in America. Nobody went to court. It has been held in UK. Nobody went to court. It has been held in there's no need to go to court if the elections are transparent and flawless. You understand my point? So as far as I'm concerned, to say that because the election was flawed, then nobody won is not true. I was the Director General of the Labour campaign organization, President Campaign Organization. We ran, a most fantastic campaign. You know it yourself. Yes, sir. We did a lot of mobilization, but we had our flaws. We had shortcomings. The party was, grossly and inadequately arranged to cover a national election. We didn't have what it took. The structure that covers the country was not there. We didn't have it. We didn't have polling agents in more than 80% of the polling booths in the country. How can you win the election? How? Even if you won, if you are not there, they will change it. As long as there are not the agents and the presiding officers are not angels, they will change it. And I've said it before, in any country where illiteracy is preponderant and poverty is rife, you can't have democracy. You can't have true democracy.